Hello, it is living in artificial intelligence era again. So last week, I got many messages from our friends worldwide. Okay, they asked me about meditations, and a few friends asked me, how come I cannot sit long and meditate? 5 minutes. I feel numb here, numb there, I cannot sit properly. And then some other friends said their meditation practice is not stable, cannot be repeated. And some asking me, so what really exactly what I'm doing in meditations? And some even say, well, what is this meditation is about? So today I like to share with you something. It is not that well known, and that's the reason why I wrote a book on this, because I'm doing it in an engineering way. Since I live in Silicon Valley, everybody know, right? So I'm doing it in the Silicon Valley way, which is the engineering approach. So the benefit of doing this approach is that you clearly know what is this meditation is about, and it is a technology. Okay, it is not religions, not spiritual. It is technology, and in fact, if you investigate in like a Buddha's teaching, like Anapanasati or Surangama, it is very scientific and technology and engineering. And you read something about some famous yogic, they also are technologists. Okay, and it's engineering approach. It is beyond the philosophy or those stuff. It is something to make something happen. So today I like to share with you. Okay. And first of all, I'd like to introduce you to a new word called NI. Well, NI is natural intelligence. So we all know about AI, artificial intelligence, and NI is referred to the natural intelligence. That's us, right? So if we go all the way with the AI, why don't we also study ourselves, NI, okay? The AI and NI has to be balanced. So let's start with meditation. So what is meditations? Okay, what is meditations? If you go to search in the web or Google it or YouTube it, when we say what is meditations, then you can find that this meditation is about mindfulness, thoughtlessness, living in now, escape, awake, release, relax, and stress relief. So meditation can be anything, okay? You can see all those kind of stuff. And today we need to really know what is meditations. Otherwise, what is the point we're doing it, right? Now, first, selectively, I like to go through this not in sequence. Okay, so but we're gonna go through it, but not in sequence. First, when people say meditation is escape, there is trouble. Okay, there is big trouble. Escape meaning that you escape to a different domain. You are not living in this reality anymore. And you escape into the cinema, watching a movie. There's an escape. You're not living in the reality. Okay, those are actually mental state prison. Okay, so they are prison. They are prison. Don't escape. When you do meditation, do not escape. Because meditation is for what? Meditation is for this equanimity, okay, equanimity, bliss, okay, liberate, energetic, and free. Okay, so this is what meditation should help a person who meditate to get. Okay, not get into this escape and this state prison stuff. Okay, and yes, meditation is for equanimity, and within equanimity you have to have fun, you have to have joy, and then you have to be able to break barrier. Well, then you ask me, well, I mean, are you serious, Hendrik? Sure, look at Buddha, look at all the yogic, look at all the sage. Didn't they meditate fearlessly, okay, with equanimity? They have fun, they have joy, and they break through. They transform themselves and they help other people, right? They are in bliss. They don't say, well, I'm going to take a vacations. Okay, I'm going to watch a movie. Sorry, I don't want to be a Buddhist anymore. I quit. I just go take a vacations for a while, and then I come back be a Buddhist again. Okay, and they really break free and energetic. It's not like, this is so tough, I'm going to take a break. Okay, and then they say, well, I want to do this mantra, so I am in this some place in the beach in tropical, drinking coconut water. Forget about it. Okay, those are not real. The real thing is, when you meditate, you have to be in the state of equanimity. You have fun, you have joy, you be able to break through. You have bliss, you are re-break, you are energetic, you are free. So that's why the Buddhists, if you go to the Buddhist temple, the hall is said it is the hall of great hero. The Chinese temple, okay, I'm talking about Chinese Buddhist temple. It's called 大雄宝殿. The hall of great hero. Great hero is not, great hero is, hey, So, that is what meditation has to be. It's not sitting down there wearing a robe and then you just go repeat something again and again. That's why if you look at the Zen monk, that's what it is, right? It's fearless. It is just very free thinker, very fearless, very down to earth. Okay? And as for this equanimity, I like to share with you one thing so that you can relate to me, okay? Now in life, there's all kinds of stress, okay? And let me tell you a story, a funny story. The other day I was driving down highway in this San Jose area, San Francisco. And my brother is visiting me from Indonesia. I'm from Indonesia, from Padang Siantara. So when I was young, 17 years old, 16 years old, I have this motorcycle, 250 cc's, 380 cc's. I even ride my uncle's 380 cc. So in the street, which is not that what do you call it, that proper manage or I should say that not that proper discipline, okay, with those kind of traffic. I used to race motorcycle, okay, and sometimes even our friends, because close to where I live there's a lake and there's mountain, and they race motorcycle, take away the brakes to see, you know, you go uphill, going downhill, those kind of things. So that's in my high school time. Okay, now I saw somebody riding a bike in the 101 of this highway 101, and actually the way how they cut through the traffic and so forth scared the hell out of me. And that's why I'm joking my brother. I said, you know, well, I must be old. I'm afraid of that now, right? But before, hey, you know, when I'm 17 years old, it's fun, it's joy, it's breakthrough, because I can go as fast as possible, like, you know, this, all this kind of stuff. Oh, it's dangerous. Don't do that, okay? It's dangerous. So it's naive of me to do that when I was young. But so don't do that. So this equanimity, the reason I want to bring this up is that disregard what people do. If there are no fun, no joy, and no breakthrough, like the CEO in the Silicon Valley, those who found the company, great company, if they don't have that, they cannot work day and night for it. Okay? And as us, when we were young, just go after our girlfriend, you know, you have all the fun, the joy, and so forth. We don't say, oh, it's stress. That girl just don't want to talk to me. It's stress. You don't say that, right? I mean, of course, I get turned down for a few times too, right? Or many times, right? We all do that. So meditation is not because of I want to date some girls and the girls do not want to go to the prom with me, and I get so stressed that I have to go to meditate to some state that is peaceful, tranquil. It's not that. It is about, I'm so energetic, I know this can be solved. And meditation helped me to do this. And it has to be positive and constructive. Okay? So meditation has to be like that. It's not just, hey, join my group. Join our group that so that everybody can cry. Okay? No. Buddha don't do that. And you don't have to do that. If Buddha don't have to do that, the yogic doesn't have to do that, all the sages do not have to do that, we don't have to do that. Okay? So that's for meditations. Now, let's proceed. Okay? We talk about mindfulness. So everybody talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness is what is said to aware of what is going on inside out. Mindfulness, to aware of what is going on inside out. Okay? And then talk about thoughtlessness, which is no thought. Okay? So this is mindfulness, this is thoughtlessness, no thought. Okay? Now, and then there's a talk about what? Living in now. Living in now. So you need to live in now. It's like, you know, this kind of teaching is like, if you are not meditate and living in now, you are not exist or something else. Well, who is not living in now? Who? Unless you are a dead person. In fact, when we struggle, when we have pain, when we suffer, we live in now, right? So who is not living in now? Okay? So is meditate for all this? No. That's not what it is. According to Buddhas, according to the practice. Okay? So, so what does meditation solve actually? What does meditation solve? Okay? If we use the model of the Buddha or the ancient Chinese, Taoism, Confucianism, Taoism teaching, and Chinese medicine teaching. What meditation solve is for maintenance, human mind body, reboot human mind body, meaning that when our state going into, like for example, stress state, we need to reboot that. If we are getting into a confusion state, confused, we reboot that, okay? And if we are very tired, then we maintain it. That's maintenance, right? If we get sick, like having a cold, maintain it. Or having a stress, something, okay, we want to reboot and we want to maintain this body, It's like a car, right? And then we also using meditation to transform it. How do you transform? If we change our habit of our mind body, we transform our mind body, right? So it's nothing magic or mysterious at all. So this is what the ancient sage, Taoists, all these people do. Now, the meditations have two elements, okay? If we model it in the Buddhism way, two elements. And actually this element actually apply to all different type of meditations from different traditions, okay? The first thing is the samatha, which is the calmness meditation, training of the calmness or the development of the calmness, okay? Or stability, calmness or stability, there is samatha, okay? Stability or calmness. The second type is the vipassana, which is the insight and aware, okay? Those are the skill you develop or the training. So the first thing in today's words is about the stability. The second is calmness, okay? And then the second is vipassana. Vipassana is for insight and aware. Now, the analogy is like a water pond. If the pond is calm, the water is calm down, then the water will be like the mirror. You'll be able to see whatever in the sky. So the analogy can be like that, okay? No matter what meditations, if it is a holistic proper meditation from Taoism, from Confucian's teaching, from Chinese tradition, Chinese medicines, from Buddhism, it always has to go first train the calm, settle, stability. That is the bottom line, okay? There are different meditation, but we are talking about here is a holistic, comprehensive meditation practice, okay, which is a solid one. Only after they have a certain calmness or stability, then they can go do some type of like vipassana insight training. And also that the calm or samatha training, actually it lead to vipassana. It's just like the analogy of the pond. The water, when the water is calm down, you see the sky, okay? Now vipassana training has to be go on top of the samatha training. You cannot jump right away into the vipassana training, okay? It's like when the water is muddy, the pond water is muddy, you cannot see anything. You cannot jump in there. You have to wait until the things settle, okay? Now, one thing also, for all this vipassana, for this samatha or the calmness training or stability training, watch out for the diets. Sure, diet, what you eat and what you drink, and also what is the external stimulus. Okay? And when I say this, the training of samatha or calmness, I don't mean just mind. No. Later I'll show you the models. Okay, so samatha or the calmness training, meaning the entire body, mind, everything. Okay. For now, then later I define for you step by step so you can handle them. Okay. Now. So if you have this Bluetooth every day, listen to the music, okay? You drink caffeine drink, you drink all kinds of drink, high sugar and all those things, okay? It's not going to calm you down because you're keeping stimulus it. And you can meditate how long? You can meditate as long as you want, but if you're keeping eating the wrong diets and perturbing or stimulate the sensual organs, you're not going to get it. So that's why if anybody who practice samatha or the calmness training, they need to know how to deal with their food, their diet, their rest, and their stimulant. Okay, you want to cut those things down. And rest is a big thing too. If you don't sleep properly, and the next day see how the body can handle or cannot handle. Okay, so that has to be very careful. And only after that one can get into the vipassana. And otherwise, like the pond, the water of the pond, if you settle down, of course you're going to aware more, okay? But the vipassana is on top of the samatha, okay, which is a higher level of training, and that is not the same with the visualization training. Okay, don't take visualization training as by default vipassana. It's not. In the Buddhists, via the vipassana, they can arrive into prajapanamita. Praja, okay, those type of wisdom. Wisdom doesn't mean philosophy, okay? So just beware of this too. And usually us, common people, it'll be lucky if we can get into the samatha to a certain degree or certain level, and that is very beneficial already. Samatha, the calmness. Okay? Now, so there is limit for meditations. Even if one have accomplished or attained a certain level of samatha or calmness and a certain level of insight or awareness, still that doesn't solve all the problem. It only provides an engine or potential to solve problem, okay? Or it provides the Virgo, the fearless that we can solve problem because the body is well maintained, it can reboot, it can transform. But it doesn't solve all the problem. If Gautama Buddha sit beside me today, he still have to learn how to use iPad. He has to use his mind to study and to use how to use iPad. His samatha and vipassana only help him. For example, if I have to learn it how to use iPad in say 1 hour, he probably only take say 2 minutes. But I have to use 1 hour, right? But he still have to learn it. That means meditation is not going to solve everything. Okay? Now, in reality, you say, well, are you serious? I say, yeah, I'm serious. You know why? You go read history on the Zen master and on this on the Chinese Zen master, the enlightenment one. You see, do they have to learn things? Okay. Sometimes they are sick. They need medicines. Okay. And they need to learn all kind of things. And in fact, these are actually the enlightenment person. Okay. Now, so right now, I want to bring you to a model of what I call the 4-layer model. Okay, which is, I actually developed this 4-layer model. And this is the model which is, well, I just leaked the secret for you. I'm studying this thing because a long time ago when I study neural network, some days I say, oh shoot, I can do this with neural networks. So I put layer and layer on things, okay, so that I can train and meditate and can get result repeatably and with the quality control. So I make this 4-layer models, okay, and this models human, okay, models human, okay. So this is the 4-layer model, 4-layer models. So the first layer is the physical body layer or the physical body element. The second is the mind layer or mind element. The third layer is the breathing layers. The fourth is the energy neural layer. Okay, or this is more common term that the people know about the prana and chi. So there is 4 layers there. Okay, so I formulate this not just because I know I'm the engineer, I go formulate. No, because I study this and I practice this and I go search for the entire thing, and I found out that the way how they train actually has to obey this. If not, they are in trouble. Okay, so there is a sequence there. Okay, the sequence of physical, mind, breathing, and the chi layer or the prana layer, or the, in today's words, scientific, we call it the energy neural layer. They has to go layer on top of layer. They cannot jump. If you jump, it's guaranteed trouble. Okay. Now, so that's the first thing. And of course, we need to understand that all this 4 layer actually is one. The reason for this model is so that we split it out, we separate it so that we can superposition it and we can handle each layer. We know exactly what to handle. Well, a joke with you is like, let's program the AI robots to do that, okay? So that the robot will become more human. Okay, so that's just joking with you, okay? But the thing is that this is how we can know, okay? And all of this are one, okay? So the physical body, the mind, the breathing, the prana, the chi, they are one, right? I mean, I'm one here, but in order to handle it, we need to know this. Otherwise, we have tough time to handle it because there's 4 parameters there, okay? So this 4 parameter, if there's a sequence there, like the combination lock, if we handle it differently, in a different way or so forth, and we do not know how to handle it properly, we get in trouble. Okay, now, so another thing we need to talk about is that one always need to develop the bottom layer before go on to the top layer. So yeah, I have this inspirations come when I was studying. See, I'm doing power management stuff, right? Chips and so forth, architect and so forth. So I said, why, I'm gonna do this with the neural network and so forth. And then I said, oh yeah, in meditation and internal martial art, whatever, I can do this too. Okay, so it's layer by layer here. Okay, now, So all of this have to be understood. Okay, so this is the nature. If we want to meditate and get result and be able to handle things repeatable with quality, okay, and effectively, efficiently, we need to know this. Okay, so number one, the 4-layer actually is one. The reason why we make it 4-layer is because because of this way that we can handle things better. Okay, and then we know that this every layer, okay, is based on the layer on bottom of it. Okay, so physical layer, mind layer is based on physical layer, and physical breathing layer is based on mind layer. On top of the mind layer, and then the prana layer is on top of the breathing layer. Okay, so that way, so this is from coarse to fine. Okay, it is, you can look at this as an energy. When you go above, it's become more and more fine. Okay, and the reason why this is called the energy neural layer is because it is the channels, the energy, it is actually related to energy, our energy, and the neuron system. Okay, so it is what it is. Okay, and if we know this, when we do something within that layer, we expect to have a cause and effect and get result. Okay, so say for example in this physical layer, if we tense our muscle, we know what the result we can get. Okay, now in this mind, if we want to train the mind layer, say you don't want to calm down. Well, if our body is sitting in some kinds of awkward lotus posture, which is pain like hell, well, tell me, how is the mind going to calm down? You can. And if the mind is keeping thinking of something else, how is the breathing is going to come down? Okay. If the breathing is not come down, how is the chi, the prana, the neura, the energy is going to settle? So, you know, when I talk about this calm samatha, the reason why I say this is everything. This is everything. You calm the body, all other elements will get calmed down. Okay. So one influence others. Okay. That's how it is, because all of them are one, right? But then one need to go from one layer to other layer, because if you say, for example, a lot of people these days jump right away from here to prana. Are you kidding? If you jump from nothing, nowhere, to prana layer, we are bypassing 1, 2, 3. And no wonder your meditation doesn't work, or this going everywhere, because there are 3 parameters here which have no idea how we can control them. Okay. So this is the 4-layer models. Okay. Now, I want to share with you on this mind layer, because this is very important. So this is the first is the, what I call it, the physical body layer. The second is the mind layer. Now for the mind layer, okay, so at every layer, physical layer, it has its own characteristic, and so we need to know the details how to handle that particular layer. Mind layer has its characteristics. Breathing layer has its characteristic. The chi or prana layer has its characteristics. So we need to know how to handle them in details. It's not like, well, I'm a guru, you know, just sitting down there, don't do anything and you can get there. No, it's not like that. So now we're going to talk about mind layer, because mind layer is very important. So if you look at this as a mind layer, like this is an empty 3-dimensional space, This is called thinking. Thinking is a function, okay, in this space. And this space is what? This space is the awareness. Okay, this space, the entire space is awareness. And awareness can transform into thinking function, transform into the visualizations, transform into the intention, and then from the thinking, visualizations, and intention, it can change or transform into emotion. So this is what within the mind layer, and the mind layer actually filled with awareness. So everything is stopped, like awareness is the oceans, and all this is actually within the ocean. It's like you can look at the iceberg, like the iceberg within the oceans. Okay, so that's how it is. They are a part of awareness, actually. Okay, they are a part of awareness. Okay, and this is function. And so if you don't want any, if you don't evoke this function, it return to awareness. You don't evoke this function, it return to awareness. It's not that you need to train your mind, like train a tiger or a monkey to shut up, to sit down. No. If you know how to drop this thinking, then it go back to awareness. You need to know how. And then there's a 3 stability level there, at least. Okay, the stability. Because the mind has to be stable. If it's not stable, it's going to flying around. This is what people refer as drifting. One thing, so the drifting can be drift from thinking to visualizations to intention to emotional. It could keeping drift crazily, or the drifting can drift within the thinking, from one thinking to the other thinking. And that drifting have a habit. It can be habitual, because if like we keep stimulate our body and mind, then it gets habitual, those kind of stuff. So that's what it is. And then there is there's a calm state. There's at least three. Okay, you can look at this as stability. Okay, when the thing is not calm at all, the entire thing is go drifting. Okay, so that is the mind layer. Now we look into the meditation. Okay, so we know the 4-layer model, and we know what happened in the mind. You can go back to check this thing. Okay, now, so let's get fun with the meditations. Okay, we can control there now. Okay, now, so we talk about over here about mindfulness and about thoughtlessness, right? And also living in now. Okay, now, so let's see this. What does this mean actually? What does this mean in the say take Anapanasati meditations, which everybody know. Okay, take the example there. People will say, when you talk about Anapanasati, they'll say counting the breathing. What is Buddha say that? No, because the Buddha doesn't want you to be an accountant. So what is this Anapanasati stuff about? What Buddha teach in the teaching of the Anapanasati is actually synchronized awareness with the pulse of breathing, or pulse between inhale and exhale. Okay, so this is what it is. You see, you have an inhale, exhale, and then you have a pulse. Everybody have that, okay? Have the pulse, okay? So inhale, exhale, pulse. So the teaching of Anapanasati actually is to synchronize your awareness with this thing. Synchronize the awareness with this pulse. Okay, that is the teaching of Anapanasati. Because when you synchronize with it, then you can settle down. You can calm down, you can quiet down. And scientifically, you can do experiment with it and see, is this the case or not? However, it is never counting inhale, counting exhale. Are you crazy? Okay, no, that is not. The Buddha doesn't want you to be accountant. We know if once we synchronize the awareness into the pulse, you will calm down. Okay, you will settle down. And the longer you are here, the more settled you are, and this pulse between inhale, exhale, the pulse, this gets longer and longer. So in the sutta, the Buddha is saying that aware of this pulse, whether it's long or it is short. Okay, it doesn't say go count 1, 2, 3 inhale, 1, 2, 3 exhale, count to 1,000. I breathing 1,000 times. No, not that one. If you do that, it's not going to get into the calm state, because the idea is, remember, this is the awareness. If you're keeping counting, you are stuck within this thinking function. The idea of Anapanasati is to be able to train, to drop this thinking, so that when this is dropped, it drop back to what? Awareness. It drop back to awareness, and the more, when you synchronize the pulse of the breathing with the awareness, the better your handling, or the longer of the durations you can be able to handle the mind, drop back to the awareness. You just drop the mind and then get back to awareness. So that's calm. Okay? So that's how it is. And okay, if you do Anapanasati, people will say, well, you count breathing and then it comes to the magic time that the thinking stop. Well, are we a bricks? Like the stone bricks? That's why the Zen monk is laughing at the people who say, when people do meditation that way, say, are you polishing a bricks, try to make a mirror? That's what it is, okay? So what is this about? Okay, the so-called stop breathing is just be able to switch off, turn off the thinking function as they like. Okay, if I don't need to use the thinking function, I just drop it. It's like what? It's like your switch of your light. You just switch off the light. But most people, a lot of people, I'll say that, maybe I use the wrong words for this, okay? Most people, or, I don't want to sound that, I'm superior or anybody's superior, or put down people. So that's why I use the term most, because most people don't know that the thinking can be dropped. Okay? They never train that way. So it's like they don't know that, the light can be switched off. And I switch on the light only as needed. Now, the Anapanasati training, when it calms down, it be able to switch the light off as needed. And when it need to turn it on, it turn it on. Okay? So, the thinking, why do we want to stop the thinking? The thinking is one function. Remember, we talk about even the Buddha, if it's today, he have to learn how to use an iPad. And when he have to learn how to use the iPad, he need to think. Okay? That's what it is. So you don't want to stop thinking. You just want to drop it so you get back to awareness. Done deal. and you keep stable there. That's it. Okay? There's nothing magic there. And then also this so-called living in now. Okay, you're counting your breath, you are stop breathing, you're living in now. Well, the so-called living in now, to be really specific, it just means calmness, settle, and not drifting. That's what it is. Remember we talked about if the calmness is there's no calmness or no stability here, the entire thing go crazy due to habitual. That's what it is. Okay? So all this living in now and all this kind of thing is actually doesn't fit into what reality is. And if you're chasing on that living in now, you're dead. You know, when we get mad, angry, don't we living in now? When somebody pisses you off, if you just get mad right away, don't you live in now? You want to scold that guy, okay? When you go out with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and okay, over here I want to address one thing, okay? When I say girlfriend, boyfriend, I don't mean any sexist or racism or anything. I just, example, okay? So, when we go out with the girlfriend or boyfriend, have a good time. Are we living in now? Sure, we're living in now. When we get scolded by the boss or the teacher, we're living in now too. Okay, like it or not, we are living in now. So it is not about living in now. It is about calmness, settle, and not drifting. Okay. So again, if we look at this counting breath stuff, it is not counting breath. It is synchronize the awareness with the pulse of that breathing. So one can get into a stable or calm state. That is the development training of the Anapanasati, the calmness training. And when one have to a certain calm state, one be able to turn on and off one's thinking. Like one suddenly know, or there's a switch to turn the light on and turn the light off. Okay? It is not stop thinking. Thinking is useful even if the Buddha is here today. When he do mathematics, he need to count. He need to think. Okay? Also, it is not about living in now. Everybody living in now. The matter is, how calm are you? How settled are you? How stable are you? Are you drifting? Or, and of course, we don't want to look at this as perfection because we are not perfect. Or we can only say, what is the degree we can settle? What is the degree we are not drifting? Okay. When we have a strong desire, like we want to go to, say, Mount Everest for, just climb the Mount Everest. I have this desire. Well, you are not drifting. You are always living in now if you're according to them, right? But just so drop the so-called living in now stuff. We know how to handle it. We know how to develop that with Anapanasati. And there's a saying of saying that, oh, then you can have mind-body oneness. Okay? Well, when you're eating and drinking, if your body and mind is not one, are you going to drink with your nose? Or eat with your nose? No, actually body and mind is and mind is one. Okay? When we go to a movie theater, we sit down there, we don't like the movie and we get angry and our body react. Didn't the body and mind is one? It is one, right? So the Anapanasati, after it calms down, it is actually the breathing and the awareness become oneness. When the breathing and awareness become oneness, that is the path to go to the fourth element, the prana, the chi element. Now they have handling on that because now they go top, so they can do transformations. Okay? So that is what Anapanasati, that is what the example I want to show you, that all these things are technology. The Buddha didn't teach, oh, you go count a breath, 1, 2, 3, oh yeah, you're going to get stop the thinking, and then living in now. Why you go get those monks or whoever guru to say that, go into the lab, okay, and let them describe everything and see what is this consistent or not. Can they train their student to get to that state? If it is technology, like we talk about the Anapanasati, you focus, you're aware on this, and then you be able to drop your thinking or rise your thinking as you like, and then you are drifting, you can handle your the stability, so you're less drifting, and then you can have the breathing and the awareness synchronized. Okay, the pulse of the drink. The pulse of the breathing, the pulse of the breathing, and the mind and the awareness synchronized. All this can be trained. The Taoist is doing that too. And in fact, does the pulse and the awareness become one. That is in Taoism is called 心喜相依, the rest of the breathing and the heart of the mind, oneness. Only that get into the handling of the prana or the neuron energy layer. So it is engineering. I hope this kind of thing, okay, this is actually, I shared a quote to the ancient scriptures and the teacher and so forth. I have studied with and so forth. Now I hope that some university need to do this kinds of research, because this is, remember, this NI, human intelligence, and actually once this processes and this models is done, guess what? Okay, this model is done. Guess what? We can program an AI training to train human be able to meditate, meaning be able to handle human, maintains, reboot, transform human better, using AI to train it. You know, use all the sensor, put in our body, and then say, okay, now it is the physical element, do this, do this, do this, check it, do this, check it, and say, okay, now let's go, you know, switch the algorithm, going up to the mind, or come back, so forth. Is this good? Yes, this is like what? This is like a car operating manual. In fact, today, people don't teach us that. And Buddhas and all the yogi, the sage, no nationality, disregard of nationality, disregard of race, disregard of where you live in the world. All of the sage have this type of technology. Otherwise, they are not, you know, not that. If you look at that, all the sage, the first generation student of them, they have all good handle. And why is that? The further it goes, the student is not as the efficiency or effectiveness of develop the student is getting less. It's like Zen. The first two generations of after the sixth patriarch in the Tang Dynasty, China, you see, it booms, it blooms, but then later more and more it decreased. Like in the Tang Dynasty, probably the sixth patriarch of Zen, Huineng, teach 10 students, maybe, you know, I'm just guessing. Maybe, you know, if you look at that in general, say 100 students, maybe 30% got it. But then after what, 1,000 years or 1,500 years from Tang Dynasty, this Zen practice, six patriarch Huinen's time, how many people who practice Zen today got to that point? 1 out of 1 billion? So if all this is not detailedly understood, it is a technology. You cannot sit down there guessing. As it's said in the story, like you know, you just get things by chance, like waiting for birds to fall down from the sky. You sit down there waiting for birds to fall down from the sky, so you catch the birds. And then the next day you go down there, you see your friend do that, so the next day you go sit down on the below the tree too. So, oh yeah, you know. So it is the same thing. Now Buddha get enlightened under the Bodhi tree. So are we going to all sit down under the Bodhi tree to wait to get enlightenment? And if I'm not wrong, like the scholar Nan Huaijing, who is have passed away, who is a Buddhist, who know have deep experience in this, he said that this in the ancient, you know, the Kashyapa, the student of Buddhas, see the Buddha have a flower, and then he get enlightenment. And then Nan Huaijing, if I'm not wrong, is saying that, you know, who now is going out there to get a real flower? Maybe today people just see a plastic flower, not the real flower, and then get enlightenment, right? Things change. But this process, all this has to be intact. Otherwise, what are we doing? Okay? So, that is what meditation I want to share with you. And also, people saying that, oh yeah, you know, meditations, I can take away my stress, I can do this and do that. Well, you know, in this mind element itself, with this model, right away we can find our issue. One issue in mind element is that do not know the mind element. If one have no idea of this is the mind, this how the mind element models and how it works empirically, one have no idea how to handle that. Keeping thinking, oh, this is good mind, this is a monkey mind, this is stop the thinking. What the heck are we talking about? But if you have this model, right away we know, oh, this is the mind, drop the damn thing. Okay? Now, the second thing is, do not know how to switch. Meaning that, when I need to drop the thinking, I don't drop it. I keep thinking this is monkey mind, whatever mind, or thinking, no thinking. Someday I can no thinking, I can get enlightenment, I can get awake. Well, forget about it. The truth is just, you just drop this thing. But thing is that if you never get trained in like the Anapanasati, you know, no way you can do it. So there's a problem, okay? And there's another problem. Do not willing to switch. Okay? Many times we get trapped in this thinking. Okay? Beside that, we do not want to get beside we do not know how to drop the thinking. Even if we know how to drop the thinking, because we train in Anapanasati, Vipassana, but we still within that thinking. Why? Because that might be need help to solve the problem. For example, it's the Buddha. If Buddha is sick, he need a doctor. Okay? Well, then he need a doctor's help. He can go down there keeping thinking. He's not going to get help. Okay? It doesn't help the situation, so he need a doctor. So a lot of stress we have is because of outside too, because there's thing outside we need. That's why we need friends, we need constructive and positive in the society, so people help each other, because there's thing we know other people don't know. So even the Buddha is raining. If it is raining, the Buddha have to thinking of how to function, okay, or how to live or walking or traveling while he's in the rains, right? Somebody say, oh, no problem, Buddha, I know how to make umbrella, right? Solve. But that cannot be solved in the meditation. And also, there are problems from other elements. Like for example, if I'm having a cold, right? My mind can say, I believe I don't have a cold. Or even as simple, when you go sit in the meditations, it's pain like hell. The body element is not being taken care of. It pains like hell. And you say, I think, my body is not pain. My body is not pain. Are you kidding? Your body chemistry is reacted. Okay? So that is also issue there. So meditation, even though you know how to handle the mind, still there's some other issue for other elements. From your diet, from your food, from outside, from economy, from all range of stuff. Okay? So meditation is not going to solve everything. But if we get the proper solutions to solve the issue, then it's solved. And meditation do help us, because if we have a stable or calm in our mind is having this clarity, or you say insight, or like the pond which is settled, we can see the sky better, okay? And then we can actually drop our thinking, which is inappropriate. Then we can solve the issue better. And the body is transformed too that way, right? Because of our mind, our body, our habit is handled differently because we meditate. So the body change, it transform. Then things get easier to handle. Okay. So I like to go into meditation now. Meditations have two states. Meditation practice has two states. Yes, it has two states. We need to remember that it has two states. And also meditation, one need to learn many different type of meditations. Because there's 4 layers here. Different layer have different stuff. Like for example, people often tell me, say, well, now I know how to breathe. Counting breathing, do meditation. I say, okay, good. So what happened if you have a running nose or stuffy nose? Can you meditate? Well, you need a different method. You cannot count your breath anymore. Meaning that if there is some issue in the breathing, having a running nose or stuffy nose, what happened? Right? So that's why if you read the Buddhism Sutta, there are many different methods Buddha is teaching, not just one. And also, when the method once used too much, one might want to switch because one can running into a drift situations. We mean lose awareness because it drift, because it's so familiar with a certain thing already. Okay? Now, the two states of meditation, one is intentional regulation state. Intentional regulation state. The second is natural effortless state. Okay? So the first is intentional regulating. The second is naturally effortless. It applies to all those 4 layers. Every layer. Okay, when one do meditations, it has that 2 state. So how is this 2 state? I show you with this pendulum. Okay, this is pendulum. If I put it like this, it's not moving, right? And nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to transform. You cannot meditate this way. So See, this is the weight, the bar, and I displace this bar and I let go. Now it oscillates naturally. So this is the first state, okay, which is the intentional regulating state, and this is the natural effortless state. So in every meditation, that is this two state, okay. So in the diagram, this is the first state, the naturally regulating state, and then it starts to enter into the second state, and this is the duration, how long it can stay in the second state, and then this is the exit. So the duration stay in that state is like how long this pendulum will swing by itself, okay. Now, so meditation is not this regulating state only. It's not like, oh, I count my breath, 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 1. Because that is similar to this, 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 1. The proper is 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 1, drop, go. And then you know what? You drop all this thing away, you get into awareness. You don't thinking anymore, because when you're regulating it, you are using your thinking, your intention, or your visualization. And that thing actually can create what? If you use it, the intensity is too high, it creates an internal stress. So, when dealing with this in the meditation, the first thing, the physical body, one need to loosen the physical body. This is referred as the external loose. The second is one have to lose the mind. This is referred as internal loose. Okay, because whenever you use the mind, or you use the visualizations, or you use the thinking, or you use the intention, you always have something there, and you want to cut that to the minimum. While in the natural effortless state, you let go of all this thing, because you don't want to control with your mind anymore. Because remember, the reason why we are who we are today, because we control things and influence with our thinking and our habit. So you want the transformation, you want to get back to that. Okay? So, there is two states. Now you look at it. How many people really get to the state of this? Okay? Seriously. And also, one thing is we need to be careful here. People start to using machine now to help us to in this state. However, one should drop it to get into the natural state. Otherwise, one is controlled by this machine. And this is artificial. This is not natural. Okay? And if this is not nature, it's going to do something with the body, which is we don't know what it is unless somebody study it. And it can be addictive too. Controlled by this. Okay? So that has to be watch out, be careful. Okay? Now, the last thing is I like to share with you guys a meditation practice, which is it is very basic and everybody can do that. Okay? So that we can make it into practice. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, or we can contribute this to a long sessions of a formal, like a Anapanasati training class or something. But this is for the beginning. For the beginning, one can use it as long as 1 hour, if one can do it. If not, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, the meditation. And this meditation is actually the basic physical element meditation. Okay, now, so we don't want to jump from here to here. We want to make sure we can handle that, because we know even if we want to handle the breathing, we must be able to handle this, and then handle that. If we do not do that, you jump into the breathing right away, you're going to force it, or it's going to be unstable, and one will not be able to get into the natural effortless state. Because the key, natural effortless, is really important. But if we do not have this handle preceding to the breathing, we cannot do it. Okay, so we need to handle this physical element. Okay, go through the, what they call that, the intentional regulating state, and then go into the natural effortless state. And it's very simple. Okay, now the first state of this meditation is you just sit, or you lay down and sit down, lay down, whatever. Okay, don't get into it. Don't get into any posture stuff. The key is no matter we lay down or we sit, our body contact to this, say this is the chair or the bed. When our body rests on top, there must be no spot of stress. Okay, like sometimes when people sit, their back, their butt, you know, like the hip bone area, either left or right, is right away poked down to the ground, and that poke down point become a stress point, a hot spot there. So the key of this physical element meditation is when you sit or you lay down, whatever you do, usually people say, oh yeah, now sit comfortably or lay comfortably. Well, that's not enough. You go every place in your body to make sure there's no such thing, which is pressure. Because if there's a pressure there, your body is not well proper handled. Your physical body element or physical body layer is not proper handle, and you're going to cause problem. You cannot calm your body down, because if the certain location is in that hot, what they call that, stress spot, that is going to create bad circulations and pain, or numb that. Okay, it's going to influence all your 4 layers. Okay, now, so you just go lay or sit comfortably and you check the whole thing. You scan the whole thing. And one thing, when you scan this thing, if you have a high blood pressure, do not scan your head. The most you go is to your neck. If you have low blood pressure, do not go under your knee. Because this is known in the Chinese medicine that if you place your intention on your head or the third eye, if you have a high blood pressure, you got problem. That is the handling of the neuron energy neuron layer. You know, anybody have high blood pressure must not go focus on top of this. Anybody who have low blood pressure must not focus or pay attention to the sole of the feet. Okay, because the guy who had high blood pressure, if you go thinking on the top of the head or the third eye, the pressure could go up. When you go in thinking down on the sole or the K1 point or something, the lower blood pressure guy might drop the pressure, and you get the problem. So it's only between the neck and the butt area or the thigh area. Okay, the thigh, okay, above your above the knees. So make sure that part is no spot is have this hot spot or stress spot. And then you just relax, okay? Do nothing, that's the second. Relax there and do nothing, okay? And then you just wait, okay? So you want to set a timer, like maybe it vibrate every 30 seconds, okay? If you have only 3 minutes, you just do it 3 minutes, vibrate every 30 seconds. And if you want to do 10 minutes, you do 10 minutes, you do whatever. If you have 1 minute, you can do 1 minute too, right? So the practice is you sit down there, close your eyes, make sure your body is all evenly distributed, the weight is evenly distributed. You just let the body do whatever you want, okay? And then you just wait for the timer every half second or 1 minute, every half minute or 1 minute. Wait for it to vibrate and then wait to times up. Say, after 3 minutes, it times up. That's all, okay? And that actually, when you actually, of course, you're going to, change your position a little bit when you do this, check your, to distribute. So when you try to make sure your body is your body weight distribute evenly without the hot spot or the stress spot, that is actually the intentionally regulating your body. When you just relax and wait there, it's actually let it go. And the timer, vibrate or chime really low in volume every 30 seconds or 40 seconds or 1 minute, depend on different people. It just makes sure that our mind don't drift out, so that we settle there. And that's all. Okay, so number one, the body, no hot spot, no stress spot. The second, let the body as it is. The third is just waiting for, the keyword is waiting for the timer to vibrate every 30 seconds or something. Repeat until, if it's you only have 3 minutes, do it 3 minutes. You have 10 minutes, you want to do it long or short, just do that. Okay, now, so that is the meditation. Okay, that's the meditation. Actually, one need to practice this actually before any breathing practice. Remember, because if the physical body is not settled, the rest is, you're not going to be able to handle it properly. And so, if you do that, you are here waiting for the timer, and when the timer times up, you are going to go back to the exit. So when you go exit, you need to massage your body. Why? Because you don't want to shock your body. When your body going down to this relaxed state, the calm state, the settled state, go deeper and deeper. When you want to come back to the normal state, you don't want to shock it. So you move a little bit, you massage. Massage is a good thing. Massage the entire body. And then you move up. Okay? So that is how meditate is. And if you go sitting in the meditations, people who know how to meditate already, settle this first with this. When you sit in the meditation, disregard of your lotus or anything, don't pay attention to people say, why have to do lotus or anything. Pay attention to that. That is for sure no pressure spot. And then wait there. Okay? You can apply that in this sitting and try it, and then see your leg is not numb anymore and so forth, and your body posture because of the base. Okay, because say this is the bed or this is the chair, you sit on the top here. When this is settled, the base is settled, the top is easy, the spine, you don't want to have this hot spot there, stress spot there, and then you try to adjust. Oh, I have to have a straight spine. Then you're dead. Then you're fighting, struggling. But if you have those things already, You just adjust a little bit so that you breathe good. Your whole body feel as light as when you lay down, when the body weight is distributed. Then you know. Then you know this is well handled. Okay? So this is to share with you today, and you know, this is not advice for you in medical advice or anything. You need to check with your doctor, medical doctor. I'm just share with you what happened in the meditation practice. Okay, so whatever it is, I am not responsible for it. Please check with your medical doctor. Okay. And again, for the people who deal with high tech, yes, we have this technology now. I just don't have access to like Stanford University, UC Berkeley, or any university, Harvard, to do this kind of thing, because this can be programmed into AI, and then the training will be able to use AI to train the NI. Okay? So yes, we can do the AI train NI. It's not the AI trained by itself anymore, but using the AI to train the NI. And this way that the training of meditation will be really effective. And the bottom line is that we want to know our body better so that we can use our body better, right? Because there's no AI there. Don't we want to improve our NI handling? So this is for you today.